if you're not getting much back, you're learning something. So the more you put out, the more you're learning. It may be a slow process. Don't take the negativity too seriously.
What do you think's missing in marketing today?
I've really doubled down on social media. I've been posting every day. So if I look around at similar sized places, you find that they are not dedicated to social media, which I can totally understand.
How do you personally either deal with or look at hate comments or trolls, or is it, because we post stuff on the internet. The internet can be anonymized, can be keyboard warrior, can be trolly, etc. How should someone deal with a hate comment or a hate, etc.?
Some of the stuff is disgusting, what they say. But I embrace it with love. Unless they have said something like racist or used extreme foul language, I'm not going to delete it.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to a brand new episode in What's Missing in Marketing Today. Today, we're on location, obviously, and we're here at the New Inn in Amesbury, and we're going to be interviewing Nathan or Nat, which would you...
Nate is good.
Okay.
Nathan is good.
And we're going to be talking about his marketing. It was, I think, I wasn't necessarily going to start here, but I think the main reason why I reached out to you about doing this is because you've clearly been doing something, because I think 5 conversations with me, but like, well, these guys are really shit on marketing. Mm-hmm. But before we get into that, what do you think's missing in marketing today?
If we take the New Inn, for example, I've really doubled down on social media. I've been posting every day. So if I look around at similar sized places in the area or even further afield, you find that they are not dedicated to social media, which I can totally understand because it's time consuming. If you're going to do videos, you need a bit of self-confidence. It's scary putting stuff out because there's so much negativity in social media. So I totally get it. But I just think so many more places could benefit from concentrating on social media, being consistent, and not worrying if it's not perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. You just have to get something out and it will develop, it will snowball. So I think that is the main thing that is missing from similar businesses in our field, in the area.
Do you think, I guess it's a commonality, like people say to me, like, it's a lot of work, and maybe it's the ROI question or return on investment question around, like, I'm going to put all this work into social, I'm going to put all this work into posting, and then what's it going to like return me back? Do you think that's why people maybe don't?
Probably, because in the short term, you might be posting, not getting anything back, not getting any traction. So I can understand that's why people may not do it as much. But people just got to realise if you keep on, then it will happen. And just by the very fact that you're putting stuff out, if you're not getting much back, you're learning something. So the more you put out, the more you're learning. It may be a slow process, and don't take the negativity too seriously. The negativity I see now as it's gold, because if someone's a negative troll person posting on your content, well, they found it. It means it's getting out there, and also the good people, which is I'd say 99% of people are good. They would come back and reply underneath why they think that they are wrong, and they'd stick up for you. They might come back, but every time someone's commenting, more people are seeing it for what it is. So we're just honest, and people can interpret it how they want.
I think, for me anyway, I think you're, especially in the way you approach or have approached your marketing as a more document rather than create methodology, I think that's really unique as an overall, not even necessarily in your sector, but as a whole, from what I've seen. I mean, did you always look at that? I mean, like, how did you sort of think about it when you were taking on this space and going, well, okay, well, this is why we're going to be successful because we need to do that? Or was it actually just sort of naturally happened, I guess? I guess the question becomes is like, has your success been, quote, lucky, or was it more planned and predicted because you knew you were going to market, and then the result would have been that you're building that community?
A bit of both. So I'll go back to the methodology that I want to post every day. And from the moment we get the keys, I mean, you could have thought we got the keys, but there's nothing, to film about yet. The pub's not open. But every day something's going on. We're painting, we're doing the floor. I mean, it might be boring to some people, but for me and other people, they want to enjoy the journey. So many people have come into me since the pub's opened and said we've enjoyed the journey and how it's developed. And some people have even said, well, we missed that part of the process. So that it comes from that. It's just posting every day, and just things happen. We film it. I've got 5-6 things probably lined up in my mind that I want to do, because just make sure you got something lined up. But then things just spontaneously happen. I'm looking around and seeing someone's doing something interesting, like discovering the cellar, for example, was the big one, or even simple things like putting up lights or laying a new floor. There is a satisfaction to seeing something that isn't right, it's tired, strip it back, and then see the end process in a short video. People find that satisfying. I find that satisfying. Why
do you think people don't do that? And then you can either target this at your sector or in general. I think because I think there's so many opportunities to document rather than create necessarily.
Because you're in it and it's every day. It might be boring. People thinking, who's going to be interested that I'm painting this wall? Who's going to be interested that I'm laying this floor? But when you frame it and you look at it, and even the wall in the car park, a tired old wall, but to see it gone from a tired old wall to being brilliantly whitewashed, I mean, that's satisfying. And then the hanging baskets going up, and then that's just a small piece, and all these small pieces make up from a pub that had been closed for a little while, so it's tired, it needed a bit of work, it needed some love. So every one of these pieces of jigsaw, which is interesting in itself, slot together, and then you can see the whole picture, and people said that they've followed the whole journey at every video, so that is nice feedback and motivation. And also it feeds into itself, because people coming back, making nice comments, and then that gives you motivation to keep going. So there's a synergy that is feeding off each other, which leads into the fact, like, the community is what has made this happen. Me sharing a journey and a community coming together, understanding what we're doing and getting behind it. To the fact that people brought in gifts, beautiful gifts that they've made, stuff that's up on the wall. Even people have brought back stuff that they've stolen from the new inn from 15, 20 years ago, saying, oh, we really buy into your story. Like, it reminded me that I took this when I was younger and I want to bring it back. So all around the walls and shelves, it's going to be gradually full of old stories and histories from the local community and the people in there.
I think for me anyway, that's what will stand you apart from, the corporate pub, right? Mm-hmm. But I think as well, like, maybe people who are watching this who are maybe not in the hospitality industry but are in maybe other industries. I mean, what you're talking about there and touching on there is the storytelling aspects of our daily life, right? Yeah. I think especially now in a, quote, harder climate, people want to connect to stories. They want to connect to people who, I guess, are building community around their businesses. Yeah. I guess the question that comes from that is, what advice would you have for either your sector or general for people who are looking to build a level of community, a level, because it can be quite buzzwordy, right, in that respect, and the concept of building story and something that maybe we both understand because we've been doing it a while, but for those who maybe haven't and maybe are starting on their journey, what would you say to those people?
I'd say the advice I'd give people, I did it myself, is especially at the start, I don't so much now, it's like look at people that are telling the story well in your industry, in your sector, and look at it from the outside, because a lot of things that you think might be mundane are actually interesting. If you're not confident on video yourself, there's plenty of people around you, the bar supervisors or even customers, that there is people that will go on video, and that is part of your pub as well. That's part of your story. So try and find those people. There will be someone around. I
think you just have to sometimes put out that intention, right? You said very early that I'm going to post every single day.
Yeah.
Right. That's, for me, that's something which I've done for many years, but I think that's rarer, right?
Yeah.
I think people sometimes struggle, like the keys that I hear from people I work with or etc. is like, we don't know what to post, we don't know how to post it, or we don't have the confidence to post it.
Yeah, they're the key things.
How would you, I guess, fix those problems from your experience? So maybe either pick one or three, and I'd be curious to hear how you would personally like recommend people try and fix that if they are looking to maybe daily post, or is it actually, go to weekly posting, get that done for a couple of months, then go to 2-3 times a week, and so on, and build it up from there.
I'd say go into posting daily and commit to it. I mean, you can write a list of stuff that you think's interesting, you can ask people, and you can work through that list. The thing is, if you're going to post something, if you've got nothing to post that day and you just randomly think of something, you may not think it's that good, but post it anyway, because that's happened to me before and it's been like one of the most biggest posts. Just because I've put something out, I think, well, I don't know if it's that good or people are interested, but I've just posted anyway. And occasionally they can be your best post. And conversely, you might have a really good idea and think, I got this story and I want to put it out there. You put a lot of time into it, and for some reason, it doesn't take off. So I think you should commit to doing every day. I mean, everyone's different, but I think that forces you into actually posting and learning.
And being in that, I guess, inconsistent, in unconfident action, rather than, oh, this post has to be perfect, this post has to be, the thing which is going to get loads of views, right?
Yeah, don't worry about it, because you're going to be posting the next day. And if it's not perfect, it's going to be buried within a week if you're posting every day. And you're learning every time. That's the beauty of it.
No, I agree. Looking a little bit more towards the pub, then. When you reopened it, was this the vision you had for it originally? Or has there been, I mean, you mentioned the cellar, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's one of your highest performing videos, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is.
Yeah, I think it's over 700,000 views on that one, and subsequent ones, which
I mean,
fantastic.
Was when you took it on, was like, okay, I've got this vision, I've got this plan.
Yeah.
Did that stay true, or has things changed and adapt since we sit here today?
Yeah, I think it stays true, and it's been our vision. At which point I want to say that's my partner Gemma, who's the driving force of it, great business mind and organiser and manager. And then there's Kirsty, our other co-owner, who has a background in catering, and she's a chef, so she's been brilliant, like getting the kitchen organised. And her partner Adam, who's been doing some maintenance and some DIY stuff. So as we talk forward, I want just to acknowledge that it's like a massive team effort, especially Gemma being the driving force. But that being said, we have me and Gemma and the others. We have had a similar vision, and it has come together as we expected. And on the opening night, I knew it was going to be, say, the soft launch. I think it was on the soft launch. I knew we were going to be busy, so I made it in my mind to take a moment and just like step outside and see it, which I'm glad I did, because I quietly snuck out the door. I went over the road and the pub was lit up for the first time, and you could see people in the windows mingling, enjoying. And you could hear the quiet sound of people laughing and talking come across the road. So that was like a special moment. I just sat on the steps opposite the outside the church on the steps, and just took a moment to watch it, because that's what it was about. So that was our vision right there.
How did that make you feel?
Satisfied. Yeah, it's a nice.
Because I think that's kind of like a platic. You put all this work in, and there's no guarantee. Like with a lot of projects, especially like in your example with the pub, you put all this work in beforehand, and then it's pretty piss. It's either going to work or not.
Yeah. That was a great warm feeling, and I was confident it was going to work, because we had so much positive feedback from the community, and that fed into the fact that we'd work harder and get it open quicker and do more. So that was a rolling effect, which was great. And while we're working on the building, I'll be working outside sometimes, inside. The amount of people that walked past and said, "We can't wait till you're open. We love what you're doing. We love the stuff you're doing on social media." It's, some same people walk past every day and ask how it's going, popping in and showing their support, which was great. It was really, really encouraging. And even walking around the road to get a coffee, you'd get stopped 2-3 times. How's it going? To the extent it felt like I was like mini famous in Amesbury, which was really nice because it felt like people were getting the story, getting what we were doing, getting behind it and understanding it as a community and it's for them. We're just custodians of the place and this place is for them to come and enjoy, even if it's having coffee and cake during the day, if they're playing crib or they're playing pool or darts or whatever, or starting a football team or supporting local groups. That's what it's there for.
I mean, that's really nice for me to hear because obviously traditionally, what like a pub was a communal hub, right? That was traditionally what it was meant to do. And I think with maybe the advent of the internet or the advent of like I don't like leaning on quite harder times, but it would be easier to say that pubs are maybe slipping away and out of the community. So I guess in some ways you're an example of no, we can kind of, I guess in some ways is it more the community actually? Because then my next question was going to be around like when you look at the marketing you've done, some would say maybe the uneducated percentage, but some would say, oh, you've been lucky. Right, but I personally believe you've made your own luck with execution and learning rather than you're lucky. But do you count it as that?
I think there is bits of luck, but the thing is you need to capitalise on those bits of luck. I mean, for other people those things may have happened and they might not have seen the value of converting that into a story, into sharing it with the community and the public. I mean, even with the bad things that happened, I knew I was going to post and I thought, I need to be honest. If we're going to have ups and downs, so in particular I'm thinking about the day after Gemma fell down the cellar and I was shaken up by it and I was upset. But I thought, I want to force myself to do a video, I want to talk about it, see what happens. Because so many people said they enjoyed the journey, then I'm robbing people of the journey if I'm just saying the good bits that happened. I want to tell them everything so they can share with us the ups and downs.
Do you think that's, I guess, natural? Because I don't personally think, because I think social media especially is known for, here's the highlight reel.
Yeah.
Here's the holiday, here's the car, here's the new camera, here's the etc. Right?
Yeah.
Here's all the good stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about when maybe business isn't booming or things unfortunately happen, etc. I mean, was that hard for you? Like to actually capture those elements and actually think I guess in some ways is there a moral question around like, yes, this is part of the story because it happened, but should we post it, should we not? Because the thing is, like, obviously you can capture it and then choose whether you use it or not. How was that sort of for you? I mean, I'd be curious to hear was it always something that's like, no, actually this is going to be just part of the story and we'll choose the right time to share it?
Yeah, I had to step back and think about what my ethos was and what the ethos of the pub was. And that's honesty and transparency. So I thought we'd do it. I had to have the permission of Gemma. She doesn't like the limelight. That was the worst thing that could happen, her falling down the cellar. So the story is, we got a glass panel in the floor now, which looks beautiful and it's lit up. But there was a short time when there was a hole, it was exposed. We're still working in here, very conscious that it's there. Gemma was the person who was reminding people, watch out for the cellar, watch out for the cellar. And I just have this vision of her walking over towards to put something on the table, to decorate the table. And I can still see the image now of, I know what she's wearing, like black leggings and a black hoodie with the New In Amesbury written on the back. And just seeing her there 1 minute and just like disappear was like sickening, because I know it's like a big drop. probably 6.5, 7 foot, rough terrain down there. It's rocky, stony. So that, a real sinking feeling, and I can still, it's like an indelible image in my mind. So the moment she fell, I rushed across, and looking at that now, it makes me feel sick that like I actually jumped from there to the floor. I don't know how my back survived, but just jumped straight down there, and I was with her for the duration. And when I jumped down, I shouted for someone else on site, Tom the electrician, who called the emergency services. At the same time, I called a paramedic, a friend of mine who's retired on the Friday, and I'm calling him on Monday, and said, please get down there. And he was just down the road in Durrington, so he was here in about 10 minutes, which was reassuring because I knew, the basics of what to do to keep her still. Her breathing was really shallow to start with, and she had a big concussion. So to have him there and to tell Gemma to stay still, which is a mission in itself, because she's saying, I've got a meeting in an hour, all this dead time. She said, I just need to get up. We've got a pub to get open. And we're saying, Des is brilliant. He's reassuring her to stay still. We need to get her out properly. So the ambulance crew arrived shortly after, and they said, we need the fire brigade to get her out that small hole. And the fire brigade arrived, and then they said, we need a technical rope rescue team. So over the next few hours, this pub was full of emergency services, and they were all fantastic. This road out here was just lined up with emergency vehicles. So of course the jungle drums on the local Facebook groups were going wild with speculation of bombs or fires. You know what it's like. So that's also why I had to shortly after say, this is what's happened, just to knock that on the head. And as soon as we knew Gemma was okay when she went to hospital, I could put that out, and we had a great response. People that we didn't even know, so is there anything can we do to help? We'll come and we'll bring you this, we'll bring you that, we'll sit with Gemma. It was fantastic. People we know, people we don't know. The amount of flowers she got was incredible, which was really heartwarming. Yeah, and it makes me feel a bit emotional now because that's what it's about, community.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I don't know if the response, the initial response as a human is always, oh my God, this thing's happened. Is the person okay? Mm-hmm. Right? But then I guess it takes another level of, leaning into your values, your trust in your community to say, well, this has happened. Mm-hmm. She's okay, but, this was obviously an accident, etc. In that respect, and I think it takes a level of, I'll use the word trust, to tell that to your community, because in another world, in another way, your response was very positive, but there could have been a world where the response could have been very negative, right? And it could have been very, this, that, I guess that bridges me on to a nice question, which is like, how do you personally either deal with or look at, quote, hate comments or trolls, or is it, because we post stuff on the internet, we put our, maybe sometimes our vulnerability, especially in this case, out on the internet, and the internet can be anonymized, can be keyboard warrior-y, can be trolly, etc.
Can be, yeah.
In that respect, and I think if people haven't been, quote, seasoned on the internet, then they maybe won't necessarily know. Like, everyone reacts differently, right? But if you were going to give advice to people, what would you? How should someone deal with a hate comment or a hate, etc.
I can understand why that would put someone off, because it is, some of the stuff is disgusting what they say, but I embrace it with love, unless they have said something, racist or used extreme foul language. I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to leave it there. And I thank them for taking the time to watch the video, and thank you for taking the time to make a comment and put a heart at the end. Other people see it and that they would like it, I mean, your initial reaction is quite different, but over the years, that is the way to do it. Either they don't say anything more, or occasionally they say, sorry, that, oh, I didn't mean that, or they twist it back round. Very rarely do they double down. I mean, they can, but I'd just double down on the love. And it's all good. You have to understand that some people are not, have problems in their own lives, and maybe they're using that as an outlet.
Do you think that's a common reaction? To quote, kill them with kindness?
I don't think so, but it's the only way to do it.
Because it would be very easy from an emotional reaction point of view to go, well, I'm going to start having an argument in the conversation now.
It is counterintuitive, but it is 100% the best way to deal with it. Then don't give them the power to make you feel angry. Just accept some people like that. And the thing is, you just got to just know that 99% of people are good, and they're going to say positive things, or if they don't agree with it, they will say nothing. So you need to have trust, but I can totally understand why people would get angry about it. My partner Gemma and other people would, but I say it's a good thing. Someone's seeing it, making a comment, that's fine.
Looking forward. What are you specifically looking forward to? I mean, we're recording this just before Halloween. Is it just Christmas? Is it going to be into the new year? Like, what's coming for those who may be watching this when this comes out, it may actually have happened by the time this comes out?
Okay. So every single event we're going to look at, and we're going to keep driving forward. We haven't just opened the doors and that's it. We got the we've got a sports bar open now. Sky TV just went in yesterday. So we'll start advertising that now. We're confident that's up and running, because it's a nice games room with a pool table, dartboard up there. There's more work to do in there, pictures up and bits and pieces. I think the amount of response that we've had from the games room, sports bar, is been fantastic. So we've got a bigger room that's a function room. So that'll be the next project. So potentially we'll start clearing that out. And I think that may be at the new sports bar because it's bigger. We'll be able to get a lot more TVs in there, dartboards. The response for darts teams has been unbelievable. I think potentially we could have 2 or 3 darts teams and a pool team. So that's another thing to look forward to. And then over the summer, I showed you the garden, which we just made serviceable for now. It was all overgrown. That's a nice space. And by the time spring comes around, rocks around, then that'll be a beautiful beer garden. So that will always be stuff going on, and we're also led by what people want. So as people buy into it and spring comes around, we see what people want. Maybe a pizza oven out there, or do a barbecue, put the marquee out there, have an outside bar. All these stuff we got lined up in our mind. But if people are going to use it, then we'll do that.
Do you think people? I mean, you're clearly investing time, energy, resources, money, etc. consistently here. Do you think that's rare in the hospitality industry, especially at the moment? Because it would be very easy for you to go, well, I put in X, so now I'm going to start wanting to pull some profit back.
I think maybe. I don't look around too much what other people are doing, but there are some people that are doing what we're doing. Specifically in Amesbury, there's a new owner down at the Kings. He's investing some money in it, making it better. That brings me on to with the pubs, you need each other. Coming into this area, I thought I'd need to work on everyone to work together. Because I know in previous years there's been a lot of backbiting and people competing each other in Amesbury. But the thing is, if you just have the new inn by itself and there's nowhere else, people want to come to a pub and have a meal and go to another place and come back, or go to another bar. So you need the whole of Amesbury to be working together. And I want to make Amesbury busy again with the help of everybody around. because we're not competing against each other. We're competing against people going further afield, out for a meal and a drink. We're competing about people staying in and buying cheap supermarket beer. We're competing with the cinema. We're competing with so many things, the internet, everything. But Amesbury needs to work together because we're not competing against each other. We need 4 or 5, nice venues, which we have got here, and everyone has been so helpful. When you open the doors and everything's brand new, no matter how much you plan, you forget something. On the first day we opened, someone asked for a bottle of wine, and we were like, oh, we ain't got a corkscrew. That's one basic thing that we've got. So I popped over to the George over the road, and they were like, no problem, here's some, have these. And same with the other venues. I'll try and list them all, like the Kings and the Dunkirk and the Anthropos and the Bell, and sorry if I've missed anyone, Piazza. They've all helped us with things that we might have forgot or change or support or sending people here, which is great. Even the offer of, we'd take some menus, and it's been fantastic. And that everyone buys into the same thing. It's been a great community amongst the bars,
as I say, do you think that's... I personally think in some cases that's maybe more true now, because things have got harder, because people need to band together a little bit more. But I think initially, the initial response, especially when people, I guess, first start, especially in like my industry, or the same would be true, I expect, in yours, where they're very self-focused, right? I've got my business to run. I need to make sure I'm making a living, etc. And I guess in some ways they don't appreciate or understand the reciprocity of, hey, there's other options, and hey, you should go and check out these other options. I mean, did you always have that mindset? And if you did, do you think that's rare in your industry?
I think it's rare. I'm always trying to sell this point. Our background is security. Gemma runs our security company now from top to bottom, but I've done the security for 30 years on doors and bars and nightclubs. But I've seen so many bars open and close, and so many bars do well. And to see people trying to compete against each other like a club down the road, and like trying to undercut each other or go against each other on nights, you're thinking, this is crazy. If they just pull together, they're so much more powerful if they work together on grouping together, putting on nights, working out who's doing what. They'd be so much more powerful and bring more people to that area rather than the next town or the next city, or doing something completely different. So that's something I've always believed in, because I've seen it firsthand, and that goes for anything, community. Wider afield, like with anything, it's so much more powerful working with the people around you rather than going against it.
There's been a lot of talk, and you may have kind of already mentioned it, but there's been a lot of talk about, I know I alluded to it earlier, about pubs are dying, right? Community houses are dying. What's your view? Do you think they are?
Well, it sounds like it if you hear anything in news, which I tend not to listen to anyway. It would seem that way, but for me, I think that taking on a new inn, I just thought, that's all background new, that's irrelevant. I know this pub is beautiful, it's historic. The community needs it. It's part of the British history and institution to have a pub, nice pubs in a town. It is unique, and it's part of the fabric of the place. It might go up and down, but it's in our DNA. So I just took this as like a separate thing. I mean, it may not have worked in other places. We live quite close to here, so we have people that we know in nearby villages, and people in Amesbury we know. So we did have a head start in that way. So yeah, I think that's important.
What do you think traditional or other pubs potentially get wrong with either marketing or in general?
I find it difficult talking negatively of people or things, but
Or maybe what they could
as
do
a-
better then.
in general, you think the big brands lose something. I mean, they've been successful and they've done fantastically well because they got to that status. But when you get bigger, then you do lose some of that independence, and you might go into a big chain and you may see different bar staff every time. That's the beauty of having an independent pub when the landlord and landlady and you have consistent bar staff and owners, and they're actually there on site, because that is a big part of the pub. Following that journey, getting to know them and the characters, and knowing even if you walk down the road and you're just going to pop in for a pint by yourself, you've met your friends or people you know may not be in there, but they know the person behind the bar, or they know the landlord, and you probably wouldn't get that in a big high street chain. Probably not. You may do, but less likely.
If people are interested to see more of your journey, where would you recommend they go?
The big one has been Facebook, but also we've got Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, and they are all the new in Amesbury. Under that should come up top if they search for that. It's all documented on all 4 of them, but Facebook is probably the most popular. So yeah, they can follow on any of those 4 channels, and that'd be much appreciated. We've had people following from all over the place. A lot of American people said they've seen it and they've liked the journey, but you know, it's a bit far. And some people even said, like, when we come to England, we really want to come and see the place. And over the road to George Hotel, they have a lot of foreign visitors stay there, and they've been coming over to look at the cellar and some of the history. The history's always been here, but no one, well, maybe that's unfair, but no one's sort of showcased it for a little while. I've started to put pictures up on the wall of old pictures of landlords, landladies, what Amesbury used to look like, so people can come in and enjoy that.
Fab. Thank you so much for coming on. And if you were going to talk to yourself 10 years ago, what advice would you give?
Yeah, that's a difficult question, because you think if you told yourself something, then you wouldn't be in the place that you are now. And I'm really happy where I am now with the pub and the people around me, how this has panned out. With Gemma, my partner, extremely happy and very much in love. So if I went back and changed something, then, you know, I probably wouldn't.
Thank you so much. And if you did enjoy this video or this podcast and you'd like to see more, make sure to be subscribed. YouTube believes you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you very, very soon.